Happy Monday. This is the John McEntyre Show Live. I'm John McEntyre. Today is Monday, August 19th, 2024. We're almost what do we have? 11 more days left in this month. This is one of the 30-day months. Um, but yeah, hope everyone had a safe and joyous weekend. So get ready to say media. What calendar summer is almost over. But yeah, right. Um, it was hot. It was real hot. Uh, so yeah, but we're going to get into the show today. We're going to share some wallet wins as usual, and today is some people have requested that Monday be dedicated to mindset. So today is the money mindset day. So I'll be covering a topic that pertains to the mindset. Then I'll do the question of the day, and then you can be on your way. Have a nice day. It works every time. Yeah, people people around here they hate on my rhyming skills. My my poetic side. But yeah, so let's get into wallet win number one. Uh, this person actually had shared a wallet win earlier. Um, they were saying that they had completed three of their four um, New Year's resolutions, financial resolutions, and today they marked their fourth one off. They just marked off they've achieved all four of their New Year's resolutions, and said this is a first that they've completed their resolutions. Normally they just do one or two, if any at all, and so that was a good wallet win. Definitely, to see someone is actually knocking to set resolutions and actually make them happen, because resolutions in today's times it used to be resolution comes from the word resolve, which at one time was like a very serious word. Resolve was was a way of I've made up my mind. I've made a clear cut decision. I've resolved to do this. And then it went over to resolutions. And so then when it became like resolutions, people was just making them sort of, lightly and wasn't really being committed to them. So then it became sort of like a cliche type thing. Well, have you made any resolutions? No, I don't do any resolutions. Where if they really went to the real word resolve, then have you made a decision to do this year? Have you made a decision and being resolved? I remember reading about that word that was in Benjamin Franklin's autobiography. So when he started really getting serious about his character, being a solid person and being that person he really wanted to be, resolve was one of the words. And so this is an old word, and he had his journal. You can actually see parts of his journal, and he said, I've resolved to do these things, and whatever I resolve to do, I will not go back. So he had made a clear cut decision. And that's what decision also means, to cut. Comes from the root word kadir, to cut, which means I made a decision, there's no going back. No. So New Year's resolutions to actually make four decisions and make them happen. Good. Wallet win number two. After 1 year, I switched to online college to work and save money. Where I'm getting my degree is not as important as paying less. And that is a good wallet win. That's a very prudent decision also, because most people they're caught up on uh, going to a particular college, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. We have dream. I have a dream of particular colleges I would like Bella to attend and things like that. Um, but I also stress to her, yes, I would like for you to attend those colleges. Um, but if you don't, and we actually have a conversation about it, and you really thought it through, then I will be okay, because for it's been decades now, a couple of decades now. Basically, where you attend, unless it's something like very specialized, like medical school, a particular law school, and even like now, that's really not as high as it used to be. Um, but those types of things, if you're dreaming of becoming like a big CEO of a big corporation, then there are schools that could help you get there. There are schools that could put you on that fast track, something like that. But most other subjects and topics, um, the degree, having a degree, is more important than where you got the degree. Because I know I know plenty of kids that went to great schools and not using the degrees, and you wouldn't even think they even went to school at all. Because they're just not using it. So this was a very prudent decision here, and that would definitely save money, not having to pay, you know, room and board, things like that, paying for dorms, meals, on campus, things like that. So being at home and doing it, and most people that complete online degrees, stats have shown that they are more way like 20% more likely to actually use it. Even more, I think and that's like an old stat. I remember seeing the stat a few years ago, so it's probably even more now, especially with COVID has happened, and a lot of people use that time to actually, go back to school, and they use the online education. So that is a very prudent way of doing things, way of thinking it through. So yeah, there we go. Wallet win number three. This one's serious. I like this one. I like to talk to this person. Our daughter is receiving a NIL deal that will supplement her partial scholarship. We all know what the NIL deal is: name, image, likeness. Now, basically in college and even before college, kids can receive money, it's like sponsor money, things like that. And so to actually have someone to be receiving a NIL deal, no matter the size, a NIL deal, money is money. Every little bit counts. It works. So to be receiving a NIL deal and actually supplementing the a scholarship, so you're already on a scholarship, now you're receiving more money. That's good. Uh, I talk to Bella every day without sounding preachy about it, and I'm like, you know, I would not be mad, because as a matter of fact, what it is, the Olympians, Richardson, she just signed that $20 million Nike deal, and that's just one of her deals. That's the largest one. She's actually has three other deals. Noah Lyles has signed some more. Some Simone Biles. She she was on the actual. She was actually on the Wheaties box, and the Wheaties box is already sold out. So it just hit the shelves here just not even a week ago, and it's like totally gone. All of those Wheaties, and most of the time, the Wheaties sell very good. They are very good selling cereal. They've been around a long time, but they rarely sell out. And they was like, the Simone Biles Wheaties box is gone. So I'm like, probably people put them up to sell them later on, something like that, or put them on eBay or whatever, just taking advantage of it. But hey, I'm not mad at it. These big deals. So I told Bella, I was like, I would love to, if you're going to take swim to the next level or whatever. I would not be mad if a Nike swoosh was on the side of your hat, on the side of your swim cap, or any of those other big companies, Beats by Dre or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I'll take it. so, so because it that's very helpful, and it's also not causing kids to be so quickly to rush through college trying to get to the next level, to professional level, to start making money. Some of them, prolong their college career. They were like, hey, I make more money now at college than I probably would in the pros. So they stay and get their education, and everyone's happy. They made their parents happy, because most of the time that's what the parents want, is them to have that degree, even though they're not mad at the money, but they still would like for them to have that college degree, because once you have it, you have it. You can't take it away. So there we go. We have three good wallet wins there. Uh, uh, all four New Year's resolutions: switching to online college to save more money, and receiving a daughter receiving a NIL deal. I'll take those. All right. So today's is not a question; it's actually a topic. Today is Mindset Monday, and what has always been discussed, people, it's been one of the questions of the ages. Why do the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? Um, Another way it's been posed is, why is it so easy? Why is money so easy to some people and not so easy with others? It's one of those things. Why some people successful and some people are failures? Well, it all comes down to one word: programming, mental programming. It's how you're programming, not just like your shallow thinking. It's that deeper thinking is what it is, the deeper programming. When I'm working with a client, they come to me for coaching, or whether it's for the money or if we're in business or whatever. First thing I want to know is, what is your money programming? I want to know. We have the values conversation, and the values is what's important about money to you. So that's what you value in life. But now I want to know, how are you programmed around money? Programming is like a computer, for instance. Let's take a computer, because when you hear the word programming, most times that's what you think of are computers. If I don't have a certain program on my computer, like for instance, the what we use to broadcast live out here on YouTube, Facebook, other social medias, is called EV Mux. You have some other ones. It's called EV Mux, which is, it's a go between. It's a computer program that allows you to record live and it broadcasts for you. If I did not have that program on my computer, no matter how good my computer is, I would not be able to broadcast through EV Mux. If you wanted to use Windows on your computer, if the program isn't on the computer, you are not going to use it. Now, on the other side, sometimes these programs, they don't act so well. you know, and there's been times I've got on and I said, we had some technical difficulties. Mainly we was working through these situations with these programs. And other times it was another program working on my computer that I didn't shut down. And so it was trying to work at the same time, and they both couldn't work together. They were, and also there's another program that's running the camera and everything, and then this program, and so this is I have team members that are also controlling things behind the scenes, and it's all through this program. But we're only as effective as the program we have, and with a computer, the computer is only going to function as well as it's been programmed to function. um, you get into your car, you want to we're in Charlotte, we want to go to Raleigh. uh, a person that's not familiar with the area, they could program their GPS. If that GPS is working very well, it will get them to Raleigh. If it's not working so well, it will not get them to Raleigh. Same thing with our inner programming when it comes to money. Some people, when you ask the question about money, um, I asked the question, for instance, tell me about your how you learned about money growing up. Who are your influences about money? Because that's where the programming come from. This is from deep inside. And before I move forward with that question, no matter what you want to do with money, your programming is on a subconscious level. It's deep. It's not we have those two levels. Well, we have, from what psychologists say, we have more than two levels. But for this sake, I'm not that deep of a mental health professional or a psychiatrist or anything. So I just know the two: the conscious and subconscious. The conscious is, I'm reading this paper that I have in front of me. My subconscious is programmed to where I don't have to remember how to read all the time. It's programmed. I'm programmed now to be able to read. I'd have to have some serious damage to happen to lose my ability to read. or to lose, other things. It's like, excuse me, it's that part of us that it controls our breathing, it controls our, all of those things. It controls digestion, things that we couldn't think about, because it would be hard to live to sit here and say, okay, breathe in, breathe out, heartbeat, food digest, stomach digest my food, blood do this, everything. All of that is subconscious. So what we learn in life from the time we really, they say, before we're born, while we're even in our mother's womb, we're being programmed. We could pick up programming from our parents, especially the mom. However she's programmed, we will pick up some of that. So some kids, they're born and they're sort of like jumpy and fearful all of a sudden. Maybe the mom was like, had some bad experiences, and it sort of went into the baby. Well, these are deep programs. There's some people in the world, I know you've seen them, no matter what they do, they always come out on top. Then there's some, no matter what they do, it's that person, you hear them say, everything they touch turns to gold. Then you have another person that say they have so much potential. They have education, they have contacts, they even have money, they have everything, but they're still failing. That's programming. That's programming at work. In school, this kid's good at math. This other kid's not so good at math. You talk to both of them, talk to the one that's good in math. Well, I study and I make sure that I know it and all this. You talk to the other, I'm just not good at math. So they've accepted that they're just not good, and it's gone deep into what is called a belief. That's where the beliefs dwell in the subconscious. Thoughts dwell in the conscious. When it becomes a belief, that's when it becomes automatic. So the question is, what do you think and what do you believe about money? How do you feel? Because that's where belief comes from. It's a thought that becomes a feeling. Once those two mesh together, it becomes a belief. You can question some people about their beliefs, and you may ask, where did you get that belief? I don't know. I was just always around it. It's just the way things have always been. Well, it's not that way for me. So, but see, I wasn't in that type of an environment that would make me believe those types of things. And so that's where money beliefs come from. They're basically what you thought. It was a thought about it, is what you heard, and then you finally accepted it as truth. And then it went to the deeper parts. So now you may have said, in a very emotional state, they call it states of mind, where you're probably like very emotional, something happened, I'm never going to be good with money. And so no matter how much you can go to the best financial planners, you have the best advisors, no matter who you go to, and they can give you the best well-written plan. And we've seen it time and time again. We've worked with people that have came to us and they've said, I've been to a financial planner, because that's one of the questions that we ask. Have you ever worked? What advisors have you worked with? I've worked with a financial planner. Okay, so do you still have the plan? Oh yes, and they bring it in this well written out plan, well thought out plan, everything. So why haven't you followed this? I don't know. That's programming. That's programming. Person with deep programmings, especially if they're not serving them well, they mess up good opportunities, they lose good jobs, those types of things. And it's not that they're incompetent. It's not that they are a good person. They'll say, I'm a good person. Well, being good doesn't have anything to do with your beliefs. Unless you believe, like if you believe in, murdering certain types of people or something like that, or it's okay to rob and steal, then yeah, it's kind of hard to call yourself a good person, but you're out there doing certain things. But it's the deep programming that could be hindering a person that's not doing well financially. It could be hindering them, because that's where the rubber meets the road. It's that programming. It's just like a computer. It's some people, you tell them to go east, they're just going to automatically go west. They're just programmed to do the opposite of what they're told to do. They become rebellious and things like that. Maybe it's something that happened early in life, and it actually got them through life, and now it's no longer working for them, and they can't understand, why am I not succeeding and all of this. Well, you're not. They call it being uncoachable. You're not coachable, because if someone tells you to let's go left, you're just going to automatically go right, or you're out to set the world right. Everything that you do is right, and everything that everyone else does is wrong. Okay, well, if that's the case, why aren't you successful? Those are the questions that you have to ask yourself, because it has become it's part of the programming now. Some people, you can, like millionaires, for instance. They say, you take the average millionaire that worked, first generation millionaire that worked and generated their millions, actually caused their millions to happen, business or whatever. You take all of that money away, they will get it back. They won't get that money back, but they will be a millionaire again eventually, if they don't quit, if they get back on it. Their programming is because of their programming. Same thing. This person over here is poor person. They say, if I just had $1 million, you probably wouldn't keep it long. Because you're programmed to be poor. The main cause of being poor is the programming, or being broke, or whatever. And that's the difference between being broke and being poor. Broke is a situation. It's just a circumstance. You know what I mean? Being poor is a way of being. It's a program. It's an actual program. You're programmed to be poor. Now, broke person, I've seen broke type people. They're not poor, but they're broke. They have high highs and low lows. They can get the good job. I mean, they can go get a 6-figure job just like that. And you give them a little while, they may not lose the job. They may quit the job because they've gotten a certain amount of money, and then when they get broke, programming kicks in. They go right back to being productive, and they get it. It's all programming. So that's why I say, before we even get into the talking about numbers and everything, I want to know what's going on the inside before you talk to a potential business partner or a potential investor. You want to know what they're programming. Okay, how many investments have went well for you? And it don't have to be all of them. Just how many more have you had more wins than losses? Oh yes, most definitely. Or I've had 50%, or I've had this. Okay, but if you say, I just don't do well with investments, well, we can't. There's not too much we could do, because you're programming. And so that's where we actually have to really look at it, because your programming acts like a thermostat. Thermostat with air conditioning, heating, and air pump. You set the temperature. You want it to always be 75 degrees in your house. It goes 76. The air, if you want it to be 75, it hits 76, automatically kicks on. Thermostat kicks on until it cools down to 75. It will keep running. As soon as it hits 75, it kicks off. If you want the room to be cooler, you have to program the thermostat, and the thermostat controls the pump. If you want it to be warmer, if you don't want it to be 75, you want it to be 77, then program the thermostat up to 77, and it will keep it there. And that's basically how our programming works. And with money, that is, you have a ceiling. Everyone has a ceiling. And another question I always ask, before I go into the question of the day, one thing I realize, people have that ceiling. Some people have a choke point. They have a dollar amount to where they just, okay, that's enough. That's enough. Some people say, oh, I can handle all the money in the world. Okay, well, I'm going to give you this much money to do this. Well, I know this person that makes, they make like $150,000 doing this. Nobody in the world can make that much money doing that. Okay, but you said you could handle all the money in the world. You can't handle the fact that someone makes $150,000 doing this particular type of business. And there's a lot of people doing that type of business making $150,000. So we all have choke points. So you have to look at those types of things. Your programming causes you not to dream. It it shuts you off from, like I said earlier, opportunities. If a good opportunity comes your way, somehow you sabotage it, you say the wrong thing. Whereas a well-programmed person, it seems like they're always saying the right things, they're always doing the right things, they're always taking advantage of good opportunities. And some people say, they just get all the great opportunities. No, they take advantage of the great opportunities because of their programming. You're not programmed taking advantage of opportunities. So most of the time, either you don't see them, you can't see them because of your programming, or when you do see it, you mess it up. So it's time to check programming. That's just what it is. So sit down and start dreaming, and then ask yourself the question when it comes around money: how do I think and feel about money? Just think about it, and then just listen to your feelings. That it's going to tell you. Every time we talk to someone and ask them about that, there's always a thought, well, I'll never have enough, or I'll never, be good with money. If you just listen to yourself, it will let you know. So that's my mindset money topic for the week. For Monday is just check your programming. And number one thing, start dreaming. Don't judge it. Don't do anything. Just sit down and write out a list of the things you would like to do. They call it a bucket list, which goes into my question of the day. Do you have a bucket list? That's the question. Do you have a bucket list? Put the programming aside. If you don't have a bucket list, write it down. If you do have one, add some more stuff to it. Uh, Lou Holtz, the great coach of Notre Dame, uh, college football. He had a. That's why I learned that he was like he had a bucket list. He had 107 things written on his bucket list, and he accomplished all of them. And he said he did it in like a quick. He did it much quicker than he thought he would. So sit down, put your dreams together in your bucket list. I hope the show was of some help. If it was, subscribe to the channel, share it with others. Don't keep it a secret. Send in your wallet wins, share your questions. And until tomorrow, we'll be back, same time, same channel. Have a good day.